pathological state of mind and can result in depression, moodiness, and emotional stress. It damages the nerves and can affect decision-making and judgment. It affects memory and the quality of the senses. Because it impairs the performance of the heart and lungs and the transport of oxygen through the blood, it slows down the smoker, who becomes easily winded and breathless. Athletic performance is decreased drastically, and generally smokers suffer from twice as much sickness as non-smokers. Smoking affects the smoker's sex life, both in stamina and fertility, and in males can cause impotence or semi-impotence. Smoking ages the skin prematurely, causing wrinkles. It affects sleep, both deep sleep and dreaming states. It produces morning cough and excess sputum, phlegm, mucus and urine production. Mothers who smoke have smaller babies and increase the risk of stillbirth in infancy. Smoking mothers can have spontaneous abortions and complications of pregnancy, such as premature rupture of the membranes and separation of the placenta. Babies of mothers who smoke are twice as likely to have pneumonia or chest infections during their first year of life. When a pregnant mother smokes, her children may do poorer at school. Young smokers have a greater tendency towards neurosis and psychosis. Smoking can damage the DNA, which is the gene's blueprint in every cell of the body. This affects the gene pool of the population as a whole. Non-smokers who inhale other people's smoke at work can suffer as much damage as if they themselves smoked up to 10 cigarettes a day, and they certainly suffer distress and discomfort. Toxic chemicals from pesticides and fertilizers used on tobacco plants can find their way into the lungs of the smoker. Smoking is expensive and becoming more so. If you smoke 20 cigarettes a day, you are spending more than £500 a year. Smokers are not generally slimmer than non-smokers. Smoking is not attractive, it is not virile, and it does not relax you. What it does is cost you money, makes you smell, offends your non-smoking friends, family and co-workers, slows you down, destroys your health and could kill you. Every day more people decide to stop smoking. Providing it's done properly, giving up smoking isn't difficult. Over 50% of ex-smokers didn't experience withdrawal symptoms at all, and the ones who did lost them after 3 days. By the use of psychovisual therapy, this will be reduced even further. By using this program, you will stop smoking. We will replace your old habit with a new one, that of not smoking. Nobody needs cigarettes. With this system, we will help you to stop smoking. We'll also show you how to really relax and how you can have genuine self-confidence. Psychovisual therapy is the quickest and most effective method of tapping the almost limitless potential of the deeper mind, almost effortlessly. Let's enhance its effect even further. Here's some helpful hints which you can use as extra ammunition in your fight against the habit. Having made a firm, definite decision to stop smoking, don't just participate half-heartedly and say you'll try. Write down your goal, your reasons for stopping, plus all the benefits. If you're not quite ready to stop smoking yet and you're simply previewing this video, then put all your cigarette butts between now and the date you've set to stop inside a jar of water. Keep an eye on the jar. Some people may only need to use this program once. Others may need to use it several times. It is cumulative in effect. The more you use it, the weaker the desire to smoke will become. If you do succumb to temptation, don't use that one occasion as an excuse to say that you tried and couldn't manage it. Just accept that you're only human and keep using this program. Forget about tapering off. 96% of ex-smokers gave up abruptly. When you've gone a few days without smoking, don't test your willpower. One cigarette was what started you off in the first place. Throw or give away all your ashtrays and smoking materials, especially cigarettes. Work out how much smoking has cost you and how much you'll save in the next year. Plan on doing something with it. Save it. Tell your friends and family you've stopped smoking and ask for their support. Try to avoid situations which might tempt you to smoke. Remember that drinking alcohol, tea or coffee may remind you of the old habit, so without being too severe with yourself, bear this in mind. Drink plenty of water for a week or two. This will help your system to eliminate the poisons put into it by smoking. Fresh fruit and vegetables will also help, as will brown bread. Vitamin C will help with the removal of poisons from your body. Vitamin B is good for stress. Changing some of your other habits will help. Wherever possible, try doing things differently, even if it's only the way you go to work, or perhaps a new hobby. Physical exercise will help, even if it's just a brisk walk. Brushing your teeth or using a mouthwash after each meal will make you feel fresh and less likely to want to pollute your mouth. Try not to have expectations about how easy or hard it's going to be for you to stop smoking. Take each day as it comes. The question is irrelevant in any case. You'll simply find the desire to smoke going away naturally. Try and help someone else to stop smoking. The more you use this program, the more you'll feel disinclined to smoke. When you're in any of your old smoking situations, you'll find the urge to smoke becoming weaker and weaker. When you're offered cigarettes, you'll notice yourself saying, "No thanks, I don't smoke anymore," and naturally you'll feel somewhat pleased about that. You'll also find that in normally stressful situations, you'll be more relaxed, more confident, and more in control. You'll find yourself on the telephone, not smoking. You'll notice that after a meal, the urge to smoke is substantially diminished. You'll find yourself choosing to begin the day fresh and alert. In social situations, the desire to smoke will be almost non-existent. If you drive, you'll find you can't be bothered to light up and fill your car with poisonous smoke. At work, the craving to smoke will gradually disappear. And while you watch television, you'll want to be clear-headed. In all these situations, you'll feel less like smoking, but more relaxed and more confident. Now that government restrictions have been placed on what the tobacco companies are allowed to say in order to sell their product, they aren't allowed to tell lies anymore or insinuate that their product is satisfying, relaxing, or makes you popular with members of the opposite sex. So instead, they use subtle psychological suggestion to bring their product to your attention and to equate it with wit, grandeur, or sporting activities. You might be justified in feeling angry at the disease and unhappiness which the tobacco companies have made freely available in regular and king size. The promise of fulfillment turned out to be a craving. The promise of liberation turned out to enslave you. The promise of happiness was actually frustration, anxiety, depression, and tension. The promise of sophistication made a fool of you. They took your health and your money and laughed all the way to the bank. You need no longer be the unsuspecting victim of the tobacco company's subtle brainwashing. Previously, you may have thought you couldn't stop smoking, and because of that thought, you proved yourself right. You limited yourself by your own belief. Now you know that you can stop smoking. Perhaps you've realized that the benefits you thought you got from smoking were illusory, and that all smoking really was a deep-rooted habit. Perhaps you've realized that you have no further need of it, that its hold on you is becoming steadily weaker. Relaxation and confidence come from within, not from smoldering little sticks. Perhaps you're beginning to feel a sense of the rightness of your decision to stop smoking, to improve upon your life rather than to become stagnant, stuck in a rut. Your weight may fluctuate slightly as your body gets used to operating without toxins. Thereafter, it will stabilize. As I continue talking to you, that old habit of smoking is becoming progressively weaker. At this very moment, your subconscious mind is processing the encoded messages it is receiving and making them a reality. They are becoming a permanent part of the new program in your human computer. Realize that these encoded suggestions are for your benefit because you want to stop smoking. No one's forcing you. You're stopping because that's the decision you made. You made it presumably because of the obvious advantages. Having a nervous system which operates efficiently means that you'll be intrinsically happier. You'll sleep more soundly and awaken revitalized, calm and confident. You'll be healthier and more positive, and you'll find that positivity spreading through your whole life. Your freedom from the need to smoke will manifest as a generally more independent attitude. Life will become richer. You'll find yourself facing difficult circumstances with firm resolve and becoming generally more in control of yourself and your life. You'll find that people will prefer your company, and a relaxed attitude means we are freer to give ourselves to others. You'll feel an innate sense of contentedness tempered with positivity. You'll find that physically your attractiveness will increase as your complexion improves, your teeth regain their whiteness, and your clothes and breath become fresher smelling. Bodily sensations will be more enhanced, and you'll have increased stamina. You'll be more at ease with physical activity and have higher energy. Food will taste better, colors will be brighter, and you'll have improved hearing and sense of smell. Your mouth will no longer taste like an old sock. You will no longer waste your time and money on destroying yourself. You will no longer be a walking pollutant. You will no longer be endangering your life and your health and that of your children or your family and friends. You will no longer have to worry about burn holes and a stinking house. Let's look at how you started smoking. Perhaps you were subjected to social pressure. You wanted to be one of the crowd. Or maybe you reacted to pressure in an opposite way and smoked simply to be rebellious. Perhaps you believed that smoking would solve the problems of tension and depression or ease an emotional situation or stress problem. Maybe you smoked simply as an excuse to stop work and have a break. Smoking actually increases these problems and creates yet another vicious circle. The more you feel stress, the more you smoke. The more you smoke, the more stress you produce. And habit is what keeps the circle turning. Think back. Whenever you finished smoking a cigarette, did you really feel satisfied afterwards, or just neutral? Did it actually give you something beneficial, or just satisfy the habit? Over the next few days, whenever the thought of smoking enters your head, you won't fight it. You'll simply decide not to smoke and then dismiss the thought. You'll remember your decision to stop smoking and the horrific details you learnt about its effects. You'll think about bodily smells, bad breath and wrinkled skin. You'll think twice about following the advice of the tobacco companies. And whenever you come across one of the old triggers that used to create a desire in you to smoke, you won't argue with yourself about it. You'll simply take a deep breath and say to yourself, I have no need or desire to smoke. Then you'll turn your mind to other things totally unrelated to smoking. You'll feel an inner sense of satisfaction every time you beat the urge. You won't feel any loss because all you're actually giving up is an insidious weed and a negative attitude. Your choice has been in favor of positivity, and whenever you want, you'll be able to dismiss the desire, the need, and the very thought itself of smoking. Your willpower will defeat temptation. Your self-control will beat the urge. Your determination will dismiss the thought. Your self-respect will overcome the desire. As I speak to you, your subconscious mind is undergoing a change. There'll be no need to man the panic stations when you run out of cigarettes. Your dependency on smoking is slipping quietly away. You may have tried to stop smoking previously, but you were unaware of how the mind functions, and as a consequence you became trapped by it. Your subconscious mind offered up the suggestion of failure, and you accepted it. You programmed yourself for failure, and sure enough, you failed. You cannot fight your own mind. The only result is ongoing conflict. The solution is to understand its workings and to use them positively. By the use of this video program, you've done just that. You're not fighting your subconscious mind, you're simply instructing it in a way it can understand. and it will aid you in achieving your goal.